Man, this was a tough list.
This is a fun one, though.
This is so tough that literally, as I sit here, I'm organizing my cutting room floor, and I'm not sold on I'm coming back on the cutting room floor. I'm like, oh, how did I not have this? And then I look back at my list. I'm like, that's why.
You organize your cutting room floor, huh? Yeah. I know you do it sometimes, but
sometimes I do. Today's the day.
I can't do that.
No, because you're right? Analog.
Yeah.
We had a lengthy conversation about organization on the mailbag, so
we did.
Wait, now, Zach, can I offer you an analog solution to organizing your analog notes? Highlighters. Highlight certain things.
Do I have highlighters?
As Mo said to me, that's not how I do it, Mayes. Don't give me suggestions for how to do my list.
Might be the least organized person I know.
Oh, no way. You know me.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
You know
not
me.
the meme edition.
Jay-Z ad-lib on umbrella right there.
Tough thing for the highlighter suggestion, which is a good suggestion. I just have one highlighter.
Just highlight it all then.
Good idea.
Yep, that'll organize it.
Just highlighted number one. Oh, this thing's not working. Dry as shit.
Damn. Analog problems, you know?
You gotta just work it a little, you know? Just wet the tip a little bit.
Wet the tip a little bit?
Yeah, and I get to working.
Of the highlighter?
Mm-hmm.
Amin definitely spent a lot of time sniffing all of his markers in elementary school.
I've never been a
sniffer.
I'm a very don't go hard R there.
Sniffer.
My daughter's dating one of those.
My daughter's dating one of those sniffers.
I've got a very sensitive nose, so I've never. I say all the time, this is why I'll never get hooked on coke.
I always wonder. I don't know if you won't get hooked. You won't get hooked on it.
Coke right into your dick, right?
No, hold on.
For real? I don't like needles either, though. That's
also
the problem.
Zach,
you don't like needles. What is that not liking needles thing? I don't understand that.
No, I don't like looking at needles.
You're too tall for needles.
Well, that's not fair. I get like not, you know, when you go to the doctor, I get like I don't like looking at them.
Doesn't bother me in the slightest.
But if I look away, it's fine.
Oh, Zach is so
It's not a
tough.
tough thing. There are things I don't like looking at. I don't like looking at. It doesn't make me need to vomit or want to vomit. I don't like looking at like someone vomiting, like in a TV show where they do the. I'm like, oh, I'm good. Like we don't. Just give me the sound of it, and I don't need to see it.
The sound is worse than seeing it.
Doesn't bother me. The sound doesn't bother me. Seeing it, I'm not like I don't get sick. I'm just like this is an unnecessary detail.
Yeah. If someone does it in the same room as me, I probably will gag. I might not throw up, but I'm.
Amin did it first. That wasn't me.
What I did?
You reacted, so then I reacted.
You're a follower.
You know me. I'm a big time follower.
It's a weird yes and. It wasn't a no, but also Zach, we've never had more proof of my daughter is dating one of those than the Juju interaction.
Oh my God! Have you seen that clip?
I sent it to the Rudy Faubert chat.
You haven't seen that clip?
And
which one?
Run the clip right here.
Wait, which one? What did I miss?
I sent it to Rudy Faubert, and it's this elderly white gentleman.
Yeah, so it's on Le Batard show.
Oh, I didn't watch that. I missed that.
The guest they had was a guy who's like a psychologist who helps teams during the combine and during the draft process. Like this he's got it. This guy, there's warning signs, whatever. And he's like touting his bona fides and saying like, oh, I told the Patriots, like I warned them about Aaron Hernandez and stuff. So in the middle of this very lighthearted interview, and you know, they're asking, oh yeah, there's success stories. What are some ones that you got wrong or whatever? And then Juju asks, do you need to be in the room with the person?
Can you tell, I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot, brother. Can you tell, like, my character, or is it like you have to be around me more, or can you read me from here?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't want my daughter dating you.
Whoa. Salute.
Hey, you guys said you can give it out. I told you I can give it back. Hey. Hey,
wow,
you
he's
guys
laughing
said
like that
you can give it
the
out.
whole time?
I can give it back.
Yes, sir.
Do me next.
Pause. Big time pause, Dr. Johnson.
Doctor, thank you for being on with us. He's the leadership coach and the founder of...
Was that literally the end of it, or they cut him off?
No, they cut him off.
Thank you.
They cut him off. And then they didn't go to break. They just sat there in silence. What you're listening to right now, the clip hasn't ended for the audio audience.
No, Dan's just sitting there. Greg Cody's drinking.
We're going to go to commercial.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
It's the living embodiment of that joke that we do.
Wow. It came in. It like Cuck O'Leary. It came to life. This is now the third instance of something that we brought to life. We've talked about until it actually manifested in real life.
This Cuck.
And there was a third thing.
Cuck.
This Cuck is on
fire. And then as I sent this to our group chat with Juju, which of course is called Rudy Faubert, in case anybody was wondering at home. And I said, little does he know, you're going after his mama, not his daughter.
Right. Yeah.
Protecting the wrong member of your family, buddy.
Wow. That's a clip, man. That is.
Yeah, man.
It's a lot.
Jesus. Yeah.
What did Dan say after? Like after they came back from break, they had to have talked about it.
They talked about it. I think they did the right. They kind of first of all, they honed in on Juju. Why'd you salute him?
Well, I would imagine out of honesty. I don't know.
Yeah, I respect the frankness. I'm stunned by it, but I respect it.
This is the best part of it. They go around the room and everyone's like, how shocking and how terrible this was. As Juju said, you guys seem out of sorts. It's just a Tuesday for me.
Holy shit.
Oh, man. That's a great moment.
Wow.
This idea is just straight up bad. That algorithm is busted. It's among the worst ideas I've ever heard. Top 5 easily.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Amin's drunk this evening, y'all, but he's got 5. CT5.
Welcome to Cinephobe Top 5, a.k.a. CT5. This is the companion podcast to the top 10 in the world in TV and film review podcast, Cinephobe. What's Cinephobe, you ask? Man, it's the thing that's the reason you're here. We review movies that are poorly rated on Rotten Tomatoes and try to ascertain whether they're accurately rated or maybe they didn't get a fair shake. And so, what you should do if this is your first Cinephobe experience is you pause right now. You stop, you go back, you look up a regular Cinephobe episode. Pick a movie that you've seen before so that you'll be familiar. You'll listen to the episode. You'll laugh. You'll be confused by some things. Say, what do they mean when they say, same note too, bro, or whatever? Guess what? We have a handy-dandy glossary episode. Listen to the glossary episode. You'll get all the little inside jokes. And then from there, off to the races. Listen to more episodes. Listen to episodes of movies you haven't seen, movies you've been curious about, movies you've never heard of. I guarantee you we will make you laugh. But what you'll notice in all your listening is that trends start to make themselves apparent. Things start to group, and you start to see things through a certain lens, and you see us try to rank things. Call these things top 5, Cinephobe top 5s. We also call them CT5. I'm reminded from the first episode of this that you guys didn't like that.
I still think it's stupid.
CT5.
I still think it's stupid.
You say CT5 all the time. Every episode you say CT5. CT5 this, CT5 that. You love it.
I've been beaten down into it at this point, but I think it's stupid. Cinephobe top 5.
It's most of this podcast is I've been beaten down and
you especially.
If I announce my displeasure with every single thing that happened in every episode, I'd just be creating more work for myself. That's the problem. I've created a real. You're great. Yeah,
we know.
Really, you just keep hammering that. Keep hammering that DQ until it sticks.
Never gonna do it.
That's what we call movies that are
That's not what
qualified for either audience or critic score. We call them double qualifiers, DQs. But we're talking about CT5s right now. And so what we do is we give you our top 5s, and then we give you 2 outside looking ins or OLIs. We've ranked all sorts of things through the years. This is what, our 4th year of doing CT5s?
This is number... Oh, I have the numbers somewhere. I'll pull it up. But we're approaching 100 CT5s.
100 CT5s. We've ranked everything from characters that we wish would be guests on Cinephobe, disrespectful heroes, respectful villains. Those are 2 different things.
That's my favorite list.
Of course, the best athletes in Cinephobe history. But this time, this week, what we're doing are top 5 scientists.
So this is the
Science.
77th CT5, and if you do it every other week, that means that's basically we are wrapping up the 3rd year of CT5s.
Interesting. Okay.
We'll go. Zach goes first. I go second. Mayes goes third. Zach, what is your first outside looking in or OLI?
Now, we didn't get to see this guy do a lot of the science, okay? Which is why he just made the OLI.
Sorry.
You're not sorry.
We didn't get to see him. But we know he created something that we would have never even thought of as a concept, right? A lot of people have thought of ways to do this. But before he woke up from a cum cocoon, Billy Connolly taught us how to fax ourselves into the past.
There's nothing I love more than when we have in the same slot the same
what?
Same slot.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
My first OLI is
Amin
Billy
loves
Connolly.
nothing
Billy
more
Connolly.
than being in the same slot
at the same time.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. We're both in that same slot at the same time.
Was he?
You might say we doubled up on that slot. Billy Connolly, for
you
sure.
might say it was a double pick.
Double
DP,
posted,
if you will.
Well,
yeah, DP, double pick. They're double posted either way. It shortens real.
So,
I like abbreviations. So
yes, scientist, but he's not responsible for the faxing.
The fuck he isn't.
No, he's an archaeologist.
He's an archaeologist.
He didn't create the technology.
He helped create it.
No, he didn't.
No. They created the technology, and they needed
and then he sent himself back. No,
he
come
accidentally.
On. Yeah, this is no. There's backstory you guys don't understand. Just like we created the television, this Scotsman created the timeline.
Who's we?
What do you mean?
White people.
Scottish people.
Scottish people created the television?
Absolutely. Look it up.
It's ITC is the ITC corporation that
which is a big part of
the faxing technology. No.
Well, archaeology is still a scientist, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no, it is.
That's the first thing I said. You fuck.
Unbelievable. Mayes, you're all lie.
My first OLI is a respected member of the science community. Okay? 3 PhDs. Published in 4 journals. And right now, when we meet him,
Dan Brown.
He's in the process of doing extensive research, cultivating frog gamete. And that's none other than Charlie Finkelstein from Beer Fest. And he puts that big ass brain to work.
Figured out the boot.
To scientifically crack the boot, Das Boot.
Yep.
And that is the climactic scene.
Yep.
He is
really wanted to work him into my list, but just couldn't find the room. But
crucial
great
member
pick.
of the team.
Absolutely. They don't win without him.
All the landfills in the world, you still need science.
That's right.
Literally,
even his twin brother fills in and says, "Just call me Landfill to make it easier."
Phil's landed. I'm Phil Land.
Lander. Zach, your other OLI.
I didn't know how to pick between the two because I didn't know which one did more work, which one did more science. I just know that they probably would have accomplished much more if it didn't constantly run into, it's just one of those days. It's the two scientists from the telescope, Batman and Robin.
Yeah. Had those on my cutting room floor. Just one of those days, astronomers.
Yeah.
They were on the cutting room floor for me as well, Zach, but in a very adjacent slot, I have from the very same movie, a man who was a great scientist and then was beset by a great tragedy that almost took his wife away. And so he started using science to try to find a cure. It's Mr. Freeze.
I didn't know where he would fit on your list, so I laid out cutting room floor. Yeah.
All right, everyone, chill.
Good teammate.
Good job.
Good teammate, Maze.
Is that a sound drop?
To everybody.
Also, he does research, like telling us what killed the dinosaurs.
What did? Oh,
that is
What
important.
killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
He's also a pun scientist.
I really love the sound of the gun.
It's my favorite part of that sound.
Yeah.
Do you guys like how much of it is included? Would you want more?
Is there more to it?
Well, I cut it off because it's loud as fuck.
But I don't mind that because I want the whole Rattlers clip.
What's what's the sign they do when you call a 20-second timeout and then you switch to a full? You go like this.
Yeah.
You just stretch it out.
We can maybe recut the freeze again.
That'd be great. Let's do Rattlers too, if we can. We have Rattlers on the board.
Also,
no,
full version.
Okay, my other OLI. This was the last one that I came up with. Man, I'm glad that I kept going until I remembered this person because they cured Alzheimer's. Okay, but in the process of creating Alzheimer's, they created giant brain, super smart sharks.
Yeah.
It's Saffron Burrows as Dr. Susan McAllister in Deep Blue Sea.
I wrote cutting room floor. I wrote no that.
Well,
I wrote down because I couldn't remember her name. I wasn't going to look it up. I just wrote down ass on Deep Blue Sea.
Yep, that's her. Next Gene Carey, Deep Blue Sea.
Wait a second. I thought it was
Burrows.
LL Cool J. Wasn't he the one who's breaking things down?
Well, he was breaking down logic.
I gave him a shout out in my little write up here. I said,
or relativity, not logic, relativity.
Because he's not a scientist, but he gives the best explanation of relativity that a scientist has ever heard.
That's right.
Yep. So, he's really like
in
translating the jargon down to the layman, down to really what's really important, which is a hot woman.
That's right.
But
always.
Her partner is Stellan Skarsgård. They call him the most brilliant man ever as he's pissing into the wind. And they say, why would a brilliant man piss into the wind like that?
That's a good question.
They're attempting to achieve what's never been done. They're this close to the reactivation of a human brain cell. Okay. And Sam Jackson is the head of the board. He sunk $200 million into her Alzheimer's research and then gives her like a 48-hour drop dead window, which causes them to skip all these trials, take all these guardrails off, grow this shark brain 5 times the normal size in direct violation of the Harvard Genetics Compact, I'll remind you.
But I wasn't worried about that.
Because this was personal to her, because her dad had Alzheimer's.
Absolutely. Terrible disease. We thank you for your service. What was her name?
Burrows.
Saffron?
Saffron Burrows.
Crazy
name.
Yeah. All right, number 5.
Number 5.
You guys are probably going to push back on this. You cannot deny the level of science that this person has done and is constantly doing in battling disease. Much like Mayes just talked about with Alzheimer's, this person also battling a crippling disease constantly and was able to do it despite overcoming years as a child, years of bullying from across the street. It's Morbius.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about him, and then I thought about how much I hated him, and I didn't even put him on my cutting room floor.
I thought Zach was going to say like MVP. The other day I was going through my photos as I was clearing stuff out, and I saw a picture of the most valuable primate wearing glasses.
Oh,
how is that going to
CT5
make
glasses
this into
wearer.
science?
Yeah. We got to do CT5 glasses wear, especially after this last movie we recorded.
No,
That'll be out in
Morbius
a
is
few
doing
months.
some real science, dude. He's got his lab.
he's a great scientist.
He's got the bat cyclone.
The
absolutely.
bat tube.
And then he's doing all kinds of blood research.
Dude, he's
got
amazing.
The Batman music playing too.
That's
to
right.
get in the frame of mind. Guys, science is about what, really? Trial and error. Technician. Steps that you follow, repeat, and master.
When you said technician, I thought you were going to say tech from Van Wilder.
Real world.
That's 100% where I thought he was going as well. Yeah.
No, it's not tech from Van Wilder. It's more of a, I guess I'd call it a sweet science. It's James the Grim Reaper Roper.
Wow. Wow. Interesting.
Thought about going Apollo, but he died. So didn't want to go Rocky because I don't think there's any part of what he does that's a science. I think Rocky just goes out there and just...
There's no part of anything he does that's any kind of learned.
I don't know all the good things.
I don't know all the good things.
I don't know all the good things.
I guess I could have gone with Tyler from Snake Eyes. He's another boxer. Right?
We think he is. We didn't see it.
That's a good point.
Doesn't even know how to take a phantom punch.
So that's your favorite boxer, or are you saying you just didn't want to go with Apollo? Or
I didn't want to go with Apollo because he died.
Interesting.
You didn't want to go with the Russian team that
cutting room floor.
You didn't want to go with Teen Wolf 2?
Are we doing a list or what are we doing here?
Wow. I was just trying to, do a mini list of boxers.
Sorry, we're having fun here.
We have kind of a lot of boxing.
We do have
55 boxers coming soon.
I forget what when we talked about like the sports, the sports
Athletes?
Cinephobe.
Yeah.
No, because there
all the sports that we had. Yeah. Baseball, football, yeah.
And I think boxing is kind of sneaky.
We got a lot of boxers
sneaking up there.
We got a lot of boxers.
Because they work boxing into non-sports movies a lot.
Right.
Like Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
All right, my number 5. This science is so mind-blowing that it defies logic. And one of the things I love about this movie is it doesn't bother trying to solve what the negative effects of this amazing science could be. They just say, whatever, it works. It's great. It's a movie. It's when Jack Black invents vaporize.
Cutting room floor.
Envy.
Yeah.
Cutting room floor. But
yeah.
I ended up not putting in my top 5 because I knew Jack Black wasn't a scientist. The scientist was the other crazy guy who's at his house at 2 in the morning when Ben Stiller comes out and so the crazy.
I forgot about that guy.
So he's the guy who's the scientist. Jack Black is more of a marketing.
He's literally just an ideas man.
He's the idea man. Yeah,
he thought of it and then he found some kooky scientist guy. All right, should I change it to that guy?
I think so.
I don't mind. Much like
it's like, would you say Steve Jobs is a scientist, or would you only give credit to Wozniak?
Wozniak, man, he's the guy that's doing this shit.
I don't think
Steve Jobs like, I wish I had a book, but instead of a
what
book,
did
I
Woz
just do
create?
this.
The science of five dudes?
Yeah.
Well, he did.
God damn, 5 dudes? Oh my God, 5 dicks? Damn!
Speaking of Woz science, he's on Wait a Second with Jason Concepcion talking about Waymos, militarized Waymos, and how UFOs are actually just drones that weren't declassified yet.
That's right.
So he is a scientist.
I love the idea of like Steve Jobs. It's like 1984, and saying like, I've got an idea that every home should have a computer.
Yeah.
Me, you, Woz, and these other 5 guys over here, we're going to work on this idea till we make it real. And Woz just say, oh my God, dudes!
This garage, damn!
Oh,
Mace.
look.
Oh, you're, yeah. So, Zach, you're number 4.
My number 4. We saw just how scientific this person was. We saw what they were able to create, what they were able to combat, what they were able to really dissect in terms of this thing needs this and that thing needs that. And I can create all these different, I guess, products or solutions or whatever you want to call it to any problem you have. We can find a way. Unfortunately, he only got 3 credits for getting an A in his course. It's Silas. How high?
Yeah. Really thought about it.
Yeah.
Really thought about it.
It's
it did
funny
benefit
when
mankind, though.
It did.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it did.
Absolutely. Yeah. But he only got 3 credits.
And an A.
An A. Yeah.
It's funny, Zach, when you start to describe things, I'm like, oh my God, is he doing mine? And then you make a left turn somewhere, and it's like, nope, you're doing your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I, too, have someone who took steps and experimented. And then the key part about science is not just having a hypothesis. It's not just testing the hypothesis. It's the repeatability of the result. That's a key component to this. I use scientific method. When I do this, do I get repeat results using the same method? And so I had 2 people from 2 different movies who both had science on their side. Coakley from Hall Pass and Bill Bellamy in How to Be a Player.
Interesting. The manly science of wenching.
I would say Coakley's more of a scientist than Bill Bellamy.
I put Coakley as the name up front and Bellamy on the outside looking in.
If Bill Bellamy had told us literally anything.
See, I believe he has the rules and the science.
Right.
He just he didn't share it.
He wanted to share it, even though
with us.
That's supposed to be the whole movie. Is him
that's the
sharing
premise of the movie,
right?
But he never shares it, and no one seems to be upset either. Like the guys are like,
fine.
"Aren't you going to finish it?" And they all kind of went along with it. Coakley, he's teaching, and those guys are learning.
I mean, he's showing you.
Yeah,
he's like showing you his experiment,
real
in
application.
Action,
yeah,
working well. Yeah, I'm with it. All right, my number 4, and we're into this an elite class because I love my number 4, and he could have been my number 1 very easily. He's so committed to his science. He's willing to completely ruin every other facet of his life. He's willing to drive away his wife and neglect her completely. He's willing to smoke cigarettes in bed because he's up all night trying to figure out how to use virtual reality to enhance cognitive performance. It's Dr. Lawrence Angelo from Lawnmower Man.
Yeah. See, now, Maze, I thought...
Job?
I thought, well, one, I didn't know how to frame it. I also thought if I had him on my list, he'd be too low, right? I probably would have had him in this 4 range. I worried that you guys would have him higher. But I was coming down to framing it as, well, he was on a quest to reverse or eradicate bingoism. not
sorry?
improve
I'm not familiar with
cognitive.
No, it wasn't.
That's 100% what that is.
Is Roscoe a bingo?
I don't know. I just know he's the best chimp I've ever had.
What about the other ones?
Not bingo enough to grab a gun.
He did grab a gun.
Yeah, it depends on what version you watched. Zach, you're number 3.
My favorite part about Dr. Lawrence Angelo is that it just says scientist. They didn't specialize him. They didn't say what field he was in.
My favorite part is him smoking heaters in bed.
Oh, yeah.
At 3 a.m.
Yeah.
That's insane. All right, my number 3. We can get a little too caught up in someone being a villain, if you want to call it that. I think we've learned in this age of technology, data is king. Everything's about collecting. Like, people are always worried about the robots taking over, right?
Yeah,
oh my God, they're
literally was.
Yeah, they're gonna kill us and all this stuff. I don't think robots are interested. They have no reason to be interested in like, oh, let's acquire this land. Let's take over. If anything, their interest would be data because that is what their currency is. That is what their blood is, right?
Zeros and ones, baby.
Yeah. So collecting data should, it does have real implications. This guy was doing it, to maybe get some information to do some crimes with it. But are we sure that the villain status of one Edward E. Nigma is that high? What's happening? What's that face? You don't like Edward E. Nigma? Fanfare.
I don't know you want fanfare for that.
What am I supposed? Or Ed? See, confusing.
You can call him the Riddler.
Yeah.
Well, see, the Riddler was not doing the science. The Riddler was doing the thieving. Edward Enigma was doing the science and creating the. Why am I getting the? Oh, my daughter's dating one of those Edwards. No, see, it doesn't. It was actually kind of close. It was closer than I thought it would be.
It's pretty hard to come up with something that finishes that sentence.
That was Edwards. Yeah.
That doesn't sound horrible.
Edwards.
You've got such a cold. What's happening there? Blow your nose. Well, one of the Edwards.
Yeah, I had him in my cutting room floor. I mean,
he was
the brainwave box.
Scientist.
It's in the invention.
Yeah. That's the invention to read minds,
and I
want television. Incredible.
Is that version of the Riddler? Is he always a scientist, or is that version in Batman Forever the only one that's doing science?
I don't know enough. I don't know about
that. Joel Schumacher's.
That might be Joel Schumacher. I feel like a lot of it is him prancing around, dropping riddles.
I'll go watch I'll go see if he's in the 1944 Batman.
Yeah. Thanks for that. I appreciate that.
I thought you were going to say dropping something else. Dropping Edwards.
Don't do that.
It really is worse now that we've reframed the first name, too.
It is. Yeah.
All right.
It got worse.
All right. In the Golden Age, character's origin story recounts Edward Nigma's fascination with puzzles. He's a big puzzle guy, and he's mastering puzzles.
But in Batman and Robin, he is. Or Batman Forever.
Absolutely. 100%. He's an inventor. He's doing R&D.
Absolutely.
For Wayne Enterprises.
Fueling Wayne Enterprises.
He is kind of doing his own projects and not really.
I worked at the Court of Appeals and just worked on my website.
But what
We're
is
villains?
the deal? Isn't it like anything that he invents on company time Bruce Wayne owns?
Yeah.
Well, I know the state of California owned my website. I don't know. I didn't check the legalities.
Probably do. If only they knew. They could have profited off of talkhoops.net. What a time they could have had.
Amin, you're number 3.
No preamble here. It's the scientists from Spies Like Us who are by the ICBM.
We all remember them.
I don't remember this at all. This is a Wolves situation.
Oh, you don't remember the scientists by the missile? Remember when they creep up and they they have to work together with the Russian scientists to stop
The hot
this
women?
missile. Yeah. Well, I saw them as scientists. I'm sorry. You, the misogynist, see them as just pieces of meat at the market. Me, I see them for what they are.
They can be. They're hot women scientists.
Highly qualified. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't go to. I don't know a lot
of lowly qualified scientists.
Zach Harper, well-known misogynist, goes down to the market to get his meat because it's the 20 CB.
I
What was in that movie? You don't. CT5 Liars. You number one.
You really are doing. You're really doing the Michael Cera clip right now.
Yeah.
You're even holding your hand up like you have a fucking bottle of Goldschlager in it.
Sorry that I noticed them for their brains before their bosoms, Zach.
Those aren't called brains.
Brains?
These things.
See, why is it that on the fucking... You have a whole Rocky page.
Because I like doing the Rocky impression myself.
The
analog soundboard.
The hesitation before he thinks that, wait a second, he's calling you dumb. Wait.
Brains? It's so panicked.
All right, my number 3. I couldn't choose, so if you guys want me to choose, I'll narrow it down. But I went with 2 scientists from the same movie that are on opposite sides of the coin morally. They're both doing really good science, and I'm talking, of course, about Loveless and Artemis Gordon in Wild Wild West.
Yep. I forgot Loveless is a scientist.
Oh
but
my
yeah.
God, he's going crazy, dude.
I had Artemis as cutting room floor, but I forgot Loveless is a scientist.
Steam-powered tanks.
He invented the wheelchair, the powered wheelchair.
Well, is spider wheelchair.
This feels like a Billy Connolly situation where he has it, but like I don't know that he invented it.
Oh,
how else is he amassing power?
You think Munitia made it
as a? Well, she's in charge of munitions.
Yeah.
Miss Lippenreader is the translator. You know, they all have their roles. You bumped her off of your CT5 name, Zach.
I know. It was tough.
Like, you know, Loveless, it's pretty repetitive theme, which is steam-powered killing machine.
Well, that's the
think what he'll get. Yeah,
that's
when you get
his
to fuel.
brand. Also, if it can look like a spider, great.
Yeah, we love spiders.
Artemis Gordon is a little more like Inspector Gadgety,
very Inspector Gadgety.
But he did invent a bulletproof vest and a flying bicycle. Mm-hmm. So they're both getting it done.
That train's dope as fuck with all those compartments and everything.
Hold on. So Pimp My Ride, they're scientists?
Car scientists?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They put an MRI machine into a car.
Into a station wagon.
Are they scientists?
We heard you like science, so we invented a science car so you can do science while you science.
Yes, this scientist met his demise. So you could downgrade how great this scientist was. But luckily for us, this scientist exists in a world where 40% of it is flashbacks. I mean, you didn't pick him, but I will. Apollo Creed, Count of Monte Fisto. Yeah. Sweet scientist.
Yeah.
Come on, he's the best boxer of them all.
He is, absolutely.
He wasn't chock full of steroids like Drago.
Yeah,
chock full of whatever.
Drago is the result of science.
Yeah.
Apollo Creed, come on, man.
Could Apollo Creed take months off of training, gain weight, smoke on his way to the ring, and still win?
Here's the thing. I think he did take months off of training.
Oh, that's him. That's him.
That's him out of shape. Yeah. That's Carl Weathers. Yeah, exactly. If that was a fair fight, no steroids, he wastes Drago.
Of course. No, we all know that. We all know that.
Also, if Rocky's fucking Rantlers would have got going and he threw in the towel, he would still be alive today.
If you listen to Duke.
Whoa!
R.I.P.
Rantlers! It's unbelievable!
Roof! Unbelievable! Please You gotta have
I'll Venmo you.
Are you unbelievable, man?
I'll Venmo you
Maze, here's the
$50 to put it on the board.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Send that check.
Put it on the board.
Put your money where your mouth is, baby.
You can still do it.
Oh.
You can still do it.
You know the problem is I really have to pee, but I know Amin's going to freak the fuck out if I get up and pee while he's giving his pick because he
Why did you pee
cried
when
about
we're
it last time.
OLIs? Why would you wait until we're at the
would
pinnacle?
you, Dad?
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Number 2. You guys mentioned the Wolves from A Million Ways to Die in the West, and trust me, I spent a lot of time.
I did when he said the scientist. I said this is like the Wolves.
Wait to listen, Maze. I spent the better part of the last 24 hours trying to figure out a way to make them scientists, and guess what? I couldn't. I can't. I'd love to.
Never stopped you before.
That's right.
No. They were all legitimate before. This one, it would be illegitimate, and I'm not going to do something illegitimate. I will not make something illegitimate. Everything I make is legitimate. So that's why I'm going with a combo of Mr. Belding and Doc Brown, both from A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Doc Brown's a good call. I forgot about him in that movie.
Yeah. Doc Brown, clearly one of the most accomplished scientists we've
Is
had.
Mr. Belding a scientist?
Wait, he says science.
Yeah, but
in the Wild West, yeah.
Astrophysics. I'm not an astrophysicist.
You would be in the Wild West.
No.
That's a good point.
It's chemistry, and it's the Wild West. So
what about volcanology?
Not a science.
That was a very tough cutting room floor, but I already have a Pierce Brosnan on my list.
Write it down.
So it's your version of Morbius? No, I couldn't do 2 different Pierce Brosnans, and I didn't want to get cute and do Pierce Brosnan as 2 different characters. So he was unfortunately cut because
also not a scientist.
Nothing can take me away from Dr. Lawrence Angelo. Just the vibes of that dude.
What a name. That's a great name.
Java. Those guys are scientists too, technically.
Yeah, they all are. They got a team.
Maze,
they work
you're
together.
number 2.
I'm not going to stand for the disrespect of putting Mr. Freeze on your OLI?
Ooh.
What the fuck?
He didn't actually accomplish anything, though.
Excuse me? He froze Gotham City.
Okay. How's his wife doing?
She's frozen until he figures it out.
Figure it out. Genius scientist.
You got to get the diamonds. The diamonds.
He had a shitload of diamonds.
Not enough.
He just used it to power his gun.
Zach,
you need more.
We see what happens when you rush science, okay?
You want to spray the
killer
city.
Giant sharks that are super smart. All right? You can't rush this stuff. You got to get it right. And that's why you keep her in the freezer until you're ready to go.
And also, you know what? If Vivica Fox was flirting with me, maybe I wouldn't be in a rush to get my wife unfrozen either.
Would have pulled the plug just like Poison Ivy.
Cold shoulder. The best part, though, is that, the only thing he needs to power his freeze ray is a very, very bountiful, super accessible resource like diamonds. That's all he needs. So
diamonds
you can run freeze rays forever.
Literally everywhere.
Yeah.
He's got to steal them. That's why he's got to steal them.
Bad scientist.
What?
Why? He's a bad scientist because his wife still isn't cured. That's all he's dedicated his life to.
You keep making this an inability as opposed to a choice. Zach, have you ever met Mrs. Freeze?
I've not.
A real bitch
Saw
wife.
Some flashbacks though.
Yeah.
At what point was she a bitch wife?
One of those flashbacks.
Not once.
Oh my God! Here she comes again. He probably froze her.
I don't think that happened.
It happened.
Okay.
Just like that. And then he's at the supermarket one day and he sees Vivica Fox and she's like, "Ooh, I like blue." And he's like, "You and me."
Ooh, I like blue.
Yeah. Start wearing blue.
Let's drink some ice.
And booze. Zach, you're number 1.
I'm going to freak the fuck out if this isn't a sweep.
No, it's not a sweep.
How is it not a sweep? He invented a fanny pack that just regenerates cheeseburgers over and over. It's Keen Bean, Richie Rich.
Is that what he did?
Prove to Pee Wee he didn't. We talked about it in the episode.
That was a
Clearly,
little bit more variety than a
cheeseburgers coming back through that fanny pack every fucking time. That's why he's got them in his hand as he's playing basketball. That's the greatest invention ever. You give me a fanny pack, or I just reach in the new cheeseburger?
If he invented a fanny pack with unlimited cheeseburgers, why is he going to the McDonald's to load up his tray?
Dude, you could buy a fish at the fucking store, or you could go fishing. Sometimes you just want to, you want the activity.
Sometimes you want a fish fillet.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good pick. He invented a lot of dope shit. He didn't invent a bottomless cheeseburger fanny pack,
Hold on.
though.
Didn't he also
we talked
fuck up?
about it.
Didn't the machine fuck up and it was putting out anvils or some shit?
What? You're thinking of Looney Tunes.
No, I thought they were putting the anvils in. They were putting like heavy shit in, and it was doing something with it. I don't think it was spitting out anvils.
Dude, this is the greatest inventor of all time.
A lot of resources too.
Yeah.
Unlimited budget.
Richie Rich.
Unlimited budget.
You think he couldn't do it?
Dan from Night Court is like, why are we wasting all this money on this clearly unsuccessful scientist?
Did the Warriors, they signed Kevin Durant because they had to? No, because they wanted to.
So Kevin Durant is a bottomless cheeseburger fanny pack in this situation?
Prove that he isn't.
or is KD Keen
and
Bean?
The scientist.
And Maurice Spates is Pee Wee.
That's not nice. God, I wish you could
Mo
supercharge.
Buckets.
You what?
Nothing. I'm with my number one.
Amin was offended, in case you were wondering.
I was. My number one. You guys named some pretty cool scientists. I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Great inventions, convenient inventions. But only one scientist created a machine against all odds, and not with an unlimited budget, not with the support of the scientific community, created a machine that allowed you to go into different dimensions of the space-time continuum, and then came back to the Today Show to talk shit about it to Matt Lauer. It's Dr. Rick Marshall from Land of the Lost.
Fucking worst scientist. It's the worst pick you could have had. Terrible.
He's right.
He's not.
He is right.
He's better than...
What's his book called? I Did It?
Yep.
At the end?
No, that's OJ's.
Oh.
That's If I Did It.
Oh, got it.
Oh.
You have a copy of that?
You have a copy of it?
No, do we?
We?
I'd love to, as a society, I'd love to read it.
As a society.
Kick, save, and abuse.
You wouldn't read that?
You've bought weirder shit for this podcast, so that's on you.
I did it.
You are the treasurer of Cinephobe somehow.
You should put on your night vision goggles while you read it.
Wait, is this real? This is fucking Amazon link. Oh no, it's by the Goldman family.
If they did it?
What?
That's weird.
Is that something? Because does everyone get to make it a version? Can I write?
If you put an if in front of the title, you can do it.
Yeah, you put an if, you can get away with just about anything from literature.
Murder?
Oh.
Make your number one.
My number one came to this realization about midway through my list, and the more I thought about it, this is maybe the greatest scientific mind in movie history. Beyond Cinephobe, above and beyond. He's given us VR filing systems. He's given us diamond-powered laser guns killing gorillas. He's given us reanimated dinosaurs. And, as I wrote in my notes for Timeline, he wants to fax objects to the past. Michael Crichton, you've done it again.
I don't know about
fraud.
Like I don't know if I like that.
Oh, that's tough because he graduated from Harvard with a degree in biological anthropology.
Did Pablo graduate from Harvard? Like, it's...
Does that make him a scientist?
Yeah.
So did Silas. So did your boy.
Well, we don't know
got
that he
an A in
graduated.
his course. But
Silas would have been higher. He would have been number one on my list if he got a degree from it. But he just got an A in one course.
yeah, he's still a fret. He's going into his sophomore year.
Yeah. Don't know what's going to happen.
So Crichton had always planned on becoming a writer. And so he went into Harvard in 1960 as an English major. And during his freshman year,
Science in the 60s? The fuck out of
he
here.
conducted an experiment. I'd like
Like
you all
being
to
a-
do an
like-
experiment
Being a fucking basketball Hall of Famer.
to expose a professor who believed was giving him abnormally low marks and criticizing his literary style. So he informed another professor that he thought this guy was ripping him off. And then he submitted an essay by George Orwell, so straight up plagiarism, under his own name. And the professor gave him a B-. And so because of that, he decided he didn't want to be an English major anymore. He wanted to get a more scientifically grounded education.
This makes me hate Michael Crichton.
You already hated Michael Crichton.
But really, like, it's more severe now.
I think in terms of cinephobe science,
I would like to watch The Sphere.
I think the crazier and
That's
crazier he
next,
gets,
right?
the older and older he gets, the more washed he gets. Where then by the time he's doing timeline, it's literally like, what about a fax machine for people?
Hold on,
Insane
timeline.
how he's
Timeline,
regressing.
the book was really good. The book was amazing. The movie.
Did it have a fax machine in it?
Excuse me. Nerd.
Oh, I thought you were going to do Gerard
the
Butler.
timeline book is really good, guys.
Can you do that again as Gerard Butler? Because that's what I thought you were going to do when you cleared your throat.
Yeah, I think it means a nerd for reading the book.
Oh wait, I thought he was going to back me up.
Thanks, Gerard.
All right, Mays, can you recap the top fives for us?
Zach had number 5, Morbius. Dr. Michael Morbius. Method Man is Silas and How High. The Riddler from Batman Forever.
Not the Riddler.
Apollo Creed, the Sweet Scientist from Rocky 4. And Professor
Edward.
Keen Bean from Richie Rich.
A very unserious list by Zach. I must.
What are you
I don't like
talking
to
about?
judge. I don't like to judge these, but that one was incredibly unserious, top to bottom.
Well,
How
while we're
is
talking
it-
about allegedly unserious lists,
Yeah.
let's talk about James the Grim Reaper Roper from Great White Hype, Coakley,
Mine's
and
better
Bill
scientist.
Bellamy, kinda.
Kind of.
It's Coakley. No, you can put Coakley.
No,
you guys are
keep,
right.
No, I have
keep
to
Bellamy
include
there.
what you
yeah,
said.
that's what you said.
The scientist by the ICBM in Spies Like Us that neither Zach or I remembered. Mr.
No.
Belding and Doc Brown from A Million Ways to Die in the West, and Dr. Rick Marshall from Land of the Lost.
Zach remembers hot women, but doesn't remember scientists.
The least serious list you ever had, right there.
I have scientists on my list.
At least he came back around at the top because it's when it started and he had Mr. Freeze out OLI. I was not pleased.
Okay.
I started
I was getting ready for a great list.
I started with Jack Black, the Steve Jobs of Vaporize and Envy. Pierce Brosnan is Dr. Loris Angelo from Lawnmower Man, Loveless and Artemis Gordon from Wild Wild West, Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin, and Michael Crichton.
You sure he didn't try to cure bingoism?
Sounds like we need a Riri Washington.
Dude, I would love to. We could do that every month.
Emphasis on the Riri.
Riri.
Oh,
Rihanna. Hey, hey,
Riri Pete Offender.
All right, that's gonna do it, right? All right, thanks a lot, everyone.
No, we got the cutting room floor.
Okay. Oh shit, my bad. All right, let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I've had it all organized.
No,
All right,
not
so
here.
let me start.
Not here. No, not here.
Where?
You go to the Patreon, patreon.com/countthedings. You get access to rewatching live events, past, present, future, the Discord, early episodes, ad-free episodes, all kinds of shit, including Cold Open's extended version and the cutting room floor for CT5. Now we can start.
All right. I have several categories. I've got a category that are absolute scientists. I'm
going to absolutely piss my pants. So you keep talking. I'm going.
Okay. Oh no, we can pause because
No. You're fine. I'll yell. I'll yell.
No, it's okay.
No,
Zach wants to. He wants to. Oh, Amin's gonna leave too. Great.
Yeah, I don't want to do a disembodied voice pod.
What? You don't want to do a disembodied voice?
I don't.
That doesn't sound like you.
It's a kind of magic.
It is a kind of magic. Was he a scientist? He wasn't a scientist.
Hell no.
He was a He fixed the fucking ozone layer.
Oh wait. Oh shit. How did that happen? Well, he wasn't in the original, right, Zach?
No, he wasn't anything in the original.
He's a well, Sean Connery's a sorcerer.
He eventually, not Sean Connery, but Bingo eventually becomes a scientist.
He supervises a scientific team.
Oh, he's okay. Supervising now.
I think
that's kind of the fucking.
It's kind of the Jack Black role. I think what it is that he's rich.
Wait, isn't sorcery the science of the day?
Is that why he was at the opera?
Yeah, only rich people go to the opera.
That's true.
My guess is, Zach, is that he funded it. Which I think that makes him the Sam Jackson. And I think that takes
that other guy, that guy he met was the scientist.
Yeah. The really like nebbishy nerdy guy. Yeah, I don't think McLeod is a scientist. He's also a million years old, so
that's a good point. Good. I don't have to update my list then.
All right. So I got several categories. I've got actual scientists. I've got people who use a lot of science at a very technical level, but I don't know if they're actual scientists. I've got people who there's some science involved here. I just don't know how. I've got academics, science academics, and then I've got,
science. A lot of scientists are professors,
right?
Because that's the only place to go with your very expensive, time-consuming degree is to go back to the school where you were. Can I rip off a couple that I want to do first? Because this I was afraid this was going to take over my list, which is comic book scientists. So we've got the scientist who created Bane, Batman and Robin.
Yes. Oh yeah, the evil dude. Yeah,
I liked him, but he gets murked. Technically, that would make Poison Ivy a scientist as well. She's a botanist.
She is a
botanist. Scientist. Is science, right? Yeah.
Again, you guys don't think women are scientists, but yes, they are.
Not true.
David Banner and Bruce Banner.
His
greatest scientific achievement is fucking up.
But he's also a janitor. So I didn't know where to put him.
Oh.
I put him.
Custodian dick.
While we're talking about it, that guy,
he was on my list,
which was kind of what sent us here from the Rewatchington, the guy that sends him to get weed, Mr. Fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another comic book scientist.
The science of not getting married.
Well, he's an expert at that. And then Jason Fleming as Dr. Jackal and Mr. Hyde in LXG.
Oh, yes.
Not the whole thing. Not the whole thing.
He is a scientist.
But it's like the Hulk. It's like he fucked up, and that's what made him. That's his biggest achievement is fucking up science.
So I guess. All right. This is my from LXG. I Captain Nemo as someone who uses science a lot. But not necessarily.
No, that's not a scientist.
Let me throw out some other names. People who use science. You're technical when they're using science, but aren't scientists. Gerard Butler in Law-Abiding Citizen.
Yeah.
Like he's an engineer, but like that's not a scientist, right?
Well, he's like a weapons expert, right?
That's not science.
Yeah. What about engineers? Because if engineers are science, then my next name Hayden Christensen in Takers, civil engineer.
Yep. Thought about it.
That's not right. What about people?
He's more of a Renaissance man, though. You know, I don't really want to pin him down.
Yeah, that's true, but science isn't one of them. What about the inventor, the self-taught inventor, Blank Man? Is that a
I had him on my list.
He has beakers, so he's definitely
he's got beakers. If you have beakers, then you're a scientist.
I don't remember what Christopher Lloyd's character did in Suburban Commando. I remember making
He's like
an insurance guy or something.
No.
What did he do in the garage?
He was blueprints. What the fuck?
He made shit.
No, he didn't make shit. He was drawing up blueprints.
Like, what, he's like an architect?
Yeah, he was an architect.
Yeah, architecture.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's math in that. There's not science.
Yeah, it's architecture. I wonder if you would call that a science.
It's not science. It's not. It's drawing.
Tough to say.
It's an
let
artist.
me pause. Let me pause there. Let Zach get some in because I don't want to.
You need to understand science to be an architect.
Right. Clive Owen, Gemini Man.
Yeah, Gemini Man, scientist.
Yeah.
Scientist. Right down.
What about the villain in Teddy Rex?
Yeah.
That dude was a scientist. He was an evil scientist.
Yeah, because he's resurrecting dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Well,
what about...
Well, they're all resurrected, but yeah.
This one didn't make my list because I wasn't sure if this is technically science. The guy who invented the gun in Eraser.
Yeah.
That's definitely science, bro.
Okay. Because it's a cool gun.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't tell if he was making this shit or somebody else was, but Alfred, kind of a scientist / butler. Seemed like he was creating a lot of shit for Batman.
I was
around the
wondering
diddling.
I wonder. Yeah, first of all, there's no science to diddling.
No.
But second, I was wondering if his niece was a computer scientist.
Because she hacked into it.
I think she was just not washed. You know, she was just like more tech.
You could have come up with Crumpet.
Well, I was also going to say that's a strike against Alfred for being a scientist if he doesn't have a complex password. But if we're talking about computer science, my guy Stanley Jobson, that's my number one. That's my number one computer scientist.
Good call.
Because especially when he's creating the hacking, like when he's doing the montage,
he was
so fucking
such a
happy.
good time, man.
He's in the
such
lab,
a good
dude.
time.
He's creating real science there.
Yeah.
Surprised no one had this one. Gabriel Byrne in Stigmata. He's a scientist turned priest. He uses science.
I thought he was a photographer.
No, he's not a photographer.
You thought he was shooting a swimsuit issue down in Belo Quito?
That dude was a fraud. He wasn't a scientist.
No, he's a scientist, man.
He was a fucking photographer who was trying to bang everybody with the costume of being a priest. That's why he's going after those hookers.
You didn't have Sam Neill in Jurassic Park 3 on your science list.
I had Sam Neill in Event Horizon.
I got so angry thinking of Event Horizon, I refused. But while we're on the topic of astronauts being scientists, because they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've got Planet of the Apes, Wahlberg scientist, not that fraud, Helena Bonham Carter. She's a fraud.
Well, she wasn't a scientist, so that doesn't make her a fraud.
Didn't she experiment on animals?
No.
Well, Helena Bonham Carter in Terminator Salvation, scientist.
Psychologist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got
but
confused
that's it.
when they bring her back.
That's the thing that's tough though, right? When you have the ology at the end of a word, is that a scientist? Because then I would say mixologist, Tom Cruise and Coughlin.
Well, I think that's chemistry. I had Coughlin
well,
for
if you actually
the red
make a
eye.
drink, it is.
Well, when he made the red eye, that was
chemistry?
like his. Yeah, that was his like special
the
brew
red
that
eye
he's been
chemistry.
working on his own.
The red eye is not chemistry.
Well, you got to crack Megan in at some point. But yeah, the best part about Cocktail is that those dudes are artists and scientists.
What about zoologists?
Yeah.
So Kevin James.
Yep.
Zookeeper.
Definitely.
Rosario
Red
Dawson.
Eye's got 6 ounces of chilled beer, 4 ounces of tomato juice, a raw egg, a few dashes of Tabasco, and often 2 aspirin. Okay, that's
science.
not like all that other shit is
science.
It's just 2 aspirin. This is like, have you started watching the Jury Duty show, Maze? You have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's like the guy with the hot sauce. It's like, it's just, what's the main ingredient? Taco
aspirin.
Bell?
Aspirin. There's a couple things that have come up in the company retreat show that I
all of NASA
really like.
Armageddon.
Yeah, but the best part is that not the oil drillers.
No.
Well, they are. Isn't that science?
No, they're roughnecks, baby.
That's not science?
That's not science.
That's not science. That's just grit and sweat.
That's a
I'm
skill.
stunned. I'm stunned that you guys haven't brought up Taffer yet.
Let's build into it.
The science. Correct me if I'm wrong on this one. The bad guy in Ballistic X versus Sever?
I thought about that. I didn't write him down, but
he's whoever invented the
he didn't invent
microchip.
He just has it.
The micro blood shit.
Nanobots.
Whoever invented the nanomites, whoever invented that, he just stole it.
Okay, so he's not actually doing science, just using the science. All right, well, in that case, this guy I know does science. The guy who did the face-off surgery for Jet Li in War.
Well, I called him an artist last time.
Right.
Because they say like,
is a doctor a scientist?
A doctor is, but so he's technically treading the line. But like, if it's a cosmetic surgery, then you're getting into art.
I don't think a doctor. I think all scientists are doctors. I don't think all doctors are scientists.
There.
Do you remember what the nano robot from Ballistic X versus Sever is called?
Steve?
Soft Kill.
Close. I knew it started with an S.
Which is Zach
Me at night.
Same note too, bro. Yeah, we don't even know who made it. They just stole it.
Okay. Tim Robbins, Howard the Duck.
Yeah, I thought about Howard the Duck. There's definitely science going on there.
Yeah.
Skarsgård in fucking Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
Evil scientist.
Mm-hmm.
Or he turned out to be evil scientist.
What do you guys think about Gwildor, Masters of the
Universe?
Universe?
About it because he is an inventor, but
it's inventor more than science. But
that's the guy who uses science, not exactly.
Didn't he call it? Yeah, tinkerers science.
Oh, I was dating one of those tinkerers.
Yeah.
Tinkerers.
I've got a couple of these are the people who use science, not necessarily scientists. One of the guys from Taken 2 and 3, one of Brian Mills's guys. One
Uncle
of them
Rico?
has to be don't know who.
Don't know.
They're not
One
scientists.
None of them? They're
I don't
all
think
just-
so.
Maybe one's a computer scientist. I don't
That's
know.
what I'm
I
saying.
think they're all just fucking agents.
Yeah, I think that's like basic training type stuff. I don't think. I mean, maybe they're more specialized, but
Yeah.
Terry Silver in Karate Kid 3 was buying plutonium.
he's
Is he
just
just like
that's
just
a
import export?
businessman.
Just
CG5
import export.
businessman.
He's not
Yeah.
actually doing science.
someone's
Okay.
doing the plutonium management
Man,
for
he's
him. We don't know
sitting
who
in
that
a
person
fucking
is.
tub.
Got it.
Drinking
While his
champagne,
sec-
smoking
while his
cigars,
Secretary
successful
takes
scientist.
notes.
doing martial arts all day.
Yeah.
All right. What about these are two people who definitely use science, but I wouldn't call them scientists. Ice Cube in War of the Worlds and Queen Latifah in Taxi. Both use a lot of science.
0 for 2.
Nope.
They used a lot of science.
Nope.
You know who's more of a scientist somehow? Mac and Devin.
Devin was. Wait, which one's was Khalifa?
All right. Wiz Khalifa is
Devin.
Yeah.
Devin.
Yeah. Devin's scientist.
All right, guys. Now you've opened the door. What I called my academic scientists.
Yeah.
Number one, you gave it to Silas
Yeah. The professor.
over the professor.
Yeah. Well, we don't know what
I
he's
like
actually
it.
done.
Yeah, we don't know that shit.
He's a professor at Harvard.
I understand, but we don't see him do anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'd
So's-
like you
so's
all
the-
to do an
so's the-
experiment.
All
the
right.
guy who teaches African American studies, right?
Uh-huh.
Wasn't African American.
No, but he teaches it.
He studies them though.
What about Tierra
said-
Marie and
he's-
Mac and Devin go to high school?
She's a substitute teacher. We don't know. We don't know
Not
what
her,
her education
we know
is.
she's not a scientist.
What about the professor from Senseless who gives Marlon the superpowers?
Yes.
Yep.
What
definitely.
Yes. Beakers.
What about Dr. Smart Cookie from Crossover?
Not
At
Yep.
the end of
in
the movie, we find out
slightest.
Graduated
in
with
the movie,
honors.
We graduated with honors
As a scientist?
Yeah.
from community college.
Community college.
Also, if he was in and one, they'd probably call him the scientist.
You can't, the pharmacist wasn't a pharmacist. You
Well,
can't be a JUCO scientist.
He counts to me.
What about
What, Zach? Are you more likely to say if your profession ends with "ist" as opposed to you are in
uh-oh.
into ology? You know?
Can that be a profession?
What? It would be the perfect time for rantlers.
Yeah. The only thing worse than a cop is
every time is the perfect time for rantlers to you.
That's a good point.
My guys, Ian McKellen and Tim Curry in The Shadow, because between the two of them, they invent.
Oh yeah.
What could be called the atomic bomb. Hey, that's catchy.
Oh, that's right.
Oppenheimer.
What was the name? What was the Dennis Rodman movie? He had the two monks that were working on things.
Simon Says.
Yeah, Simon Says.
Are those scientists?
They're monks.
Well, when he goes to like that monk HQ and they've got all that shit going on,
They just have they had computers.
They're just in chat rooms.
It doesn't mean there's
I don't think
that's
that counts.
not. Yeah, Stephen Baldwin. Stephen Baldwin was in chat rooms and fucking fled. Is he a
I
scientist?
thought about that. I thought
about D-Rod in Double Team.
Double Team,
But
yeah.
he's buying all that shit. He's not making them.
That's a good point.
He's an aficionado more than anything. The whole Universal Soldier setup.
Oh yeah, there's definitely somebody.
Yeah, those are scientists all over that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my other category. Like there had to be science happening here somewhere. So Universal Soldier, I have Jupiter Ascending. There had to have been some scientists somewhere in that.
Yeah,
no one would know it's an HR movie.
Whoever made Sean Bean half B did some genetic engineering for sure.
We'll never rewatch
Sean Bean.
Sean B. Yeah, I'm trying to. Do we meet the scientists in Universal Soldier? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, they're in the truck.
They're in the truck with.
But is there like a main? Is there like a main guy?
Yeah, there was a main guy like saying to implement the because Dolph took over from him. I don't remember who he was.
It's Terrence Howard.
Woodward, one of the technicians on the project.
Terrence Howard was the main guy.
You're thinking of Hustle and Flow.
Nah, man.
Dr. Gunter Walkenstein from Tammy and the T-Rex. Scientist.
Could not remember a single.
You can't say no, Zach.
Where was the science?
Okay.
What the fuck are you talking about? He put Paul Walker in a T-Rex.
So, Zach, you mentioned Devin.
I mentioned both of them.
Mays mentioned those guys.
From Mac and Devin. And he mentioned Silas from How High.
You mentioned Silas from How High.
Well,
which one
Zach.
is it? Am I confusing black people or
that was Zach. You're confusing all kinds of shit right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wouldn't put any of those people on my list. Because
those people.
Yep.
You know how they say 2 wrongs make a right? What about 5 wrongs?
Because they're not scientists yet. They're just learning. They're growing in their appreciation of science, but they're not quite there yet. So I had a different category for that. People who are not scientists quite yet, but they'll get there one day. And I had Todd Howard from Teen Wolf 2.
Yet.
What about the broad who doesn't know how to turn on a microscope?
No future in science.
If she figures out how to turn it on, do you think she could become a scientist?
Misogynist.
Well, you say misogynist. I knew you would say that. That's why I held on for my second pick here. From the Heartbreak Kid, Leela. She's a marine biologist intern.
That's right. That doesn't stop you from being a misogynist, though.
No.
Doesn't she volunteer?
Good point.
Isn't that the big reveal? Is that she's...
I'm a volunteer fireman. I'm not a fireman.
You have to get paid in order to be an aficionado?
Or you have to pay.
You have to be,
to be in school.
Right.
I don't like that. That sounds like a way for the man.
I didn't like it either. That's why I got out.
I don't like that. Zach, I'm stunned you haven't brought up Nick Cage and Knowing yet.
Not a scientist.
I was what?
Not a scientist.
MIT astrophysics professor.
What are you talking about?
Scientist. Not a scientist. He had to
He's
Google
got a
9/11.
whiteboard with a bunch of numbers on it.
He's such a scientist. He wasn't up on current events.
With a little light Googling, he cracked the code.
Yeah.
He's like, come on, I know a great pizza place downtown. Like, can't go there. Why not? Is it closed? Oh, New York's
the scientist that invented the ooze in TMNT.
Interesting.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Well, since you're mentioning inventions, is Ricky Gervais a scientist?
I really thought about it.
He invented lying.
I think so.
I think he's an inventor. By the way, I found a clip from our TMNT 3 episode with Jason Concepcion, where we're talking about
the butthole turtles.
No, we're talking because I said like, where's the science in this time travel?
Mm-hmm.
and you guys, all three, fucking lost your shit. It's a good clip. I could send it to you.
Yeah, because Jason's like, it's a fucking magic stick.
Yeah.
It takes them back in time.
That's exactly what he said. Is Jackie Moon a scientist? He's doing experiments, mixing vodka and orange juice in a half carafe.
In a half carafe? No, not a scientist.
Is the guy who made Russell Crowe a scientist in Virtuosity?
I thought about it.
I couldn't remember exactly what happened there, so I left it off the list. But yes,
what I landed on with that is like Russell Crowe is the cool part of that. But yeah, there's definitely a scientist who invented that.
Is the guy who uses the AI machine to beat off in Time Cop? Is that guy a scientist?
No.
But whoever oh wait, no, he is.
Based on what?
No. There's two different. Well, maybe
the nerd who has like robot fantasies. Yeah. He's
how is he a scientist?
He's like the tech guy that runs the time machine.
Tech support is not science.
Wow,
right. I'm looking
it up. Real judgmental there. Old college dropout.
Fucking Geek Squad. Oh, I could turn it off, turn it back on too.
Ricky.
They
can a scientist be named Ricky?
I said that on the mailbag. I told Mason on the mailbag.
They hit Zach with, are you sure it's plugged in? I said,
no, dumb question, but is it turned on? Fucking, oh my God.
And then Zach said, hold on, let me spit on it.
Nope.
It is now.
So it's daytime.
Huh. Ricky.
I got one.
Yeah, you cannot have
whoever
a
invented
scientist
time
named Ricky.
He is doing Chrome pinup robot, so maybe he's an artist.
That I'll buy that he's an artist.
All right. Well, hold on. Then what about the guy who invented time travel? Remember,
the guy
don't worry about how it works. It just works. The greatest piece of exposition ever.
I mean, he's a CT5 grifter as well.
Van Damme movies have great exposition.
The best.
They really do get to the point.
Because he can't do the exposition. So they have to have it
But he's not even involved in the scene.
No, Van Damme movies are very much don't worry about it.
Yeah, most movies with the star, like the star is going to give some exposition. He can't. So they just have to make it guys, don't worry about it.
Which is what I liked about Envy as well. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
it works. There's no consequences. It works.
Right.
The end.
Well, where does the poo go? There's a question.
Great question. Don't know. Unanswered. Unsolved mysteries. CT5 Unsolved Mysteries. Got to mention again, volcanology, science.
Nope.
Pierce Brosnan. And then this one, Professor Sanborn, American Ninja 2. Okay? Miracles of genetic engineering.
Yes.
Micro-injecting DNA hereditary information. Control
Getting
the
them
building
to put their
blocks
arms out
of
as they
life.
run through a beach.
But hold on.
Increased knowledge of attack and survival 100%. Cunning,
100%.
intelligent, devious, like a predatory tiger. He will feel no pain and know no emotion but hate. Muscles and sinews will be replaced by the strongest and lightest high tensile steel known to man.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, but all they did was just wear the same outfit. Like they
had red, they had black.
He didn't get to finish Super Ninja Round 3.
Well, he also had 5 million pounds of heroin.
Well, that was the lion. That's CT5
that's
business.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
We gotta do that, business.
By the way. I said that earlier with Terry Silver.
What about the bad guy from Playdate who cloned all the kids?
Yeah.
He was supposed to be Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So Alan Tudyk played him, right?
Yes.
Well, he's the
he's the one.
He might be the Steve Jobs though.
Oh,
I thought he was supposed to be like Elon Musk. Well, I guess is
that's the
same thing.
One last category for me here. Don't know if these are scientists or people who use science, but from the internship, Rose Byrne and Sean Levy.
Sean Levy, absolutely not.
Why not? He works.
I don't think Rose Byrne was. She was more of a.
What do you call all employees of Google a computer scientist?
Seems like Zach had no trepidation in questioning Rose Byrne's science credentials, but Sean Levy come right.
Well, that was to make Mayes mad. The science of making Mayes mad.
You misogyny to you.
You need to go get another doctorate. Go back to school, bitch.
You get the paint, big man.
Maybe if you do something truly groundbreaking. But yeah, a lot of professors, a lot of people without personality. That was the other thing.
I guess is it because everyone at Google is a computer engineer? Are those scientists, or is that to me that's a different category?
They're not artists.
Gerard Butler is an engineer, a scientist and law-abiding citizen. Then I don't know if I can make these Google computer engineers scientists.
That's a good point.
Unless they're computer scientists.
Well, okay, so like Gerard Butler, he's making explosives, and he's
doing that, but his profession isn't that. His profession, I think, is
he was a CIA engineer, was what he was.
Right. But I don't think that's science. I don't know. Like, you're not a scientist. You got an engineering degree, right?
I don't have an engineering degree. That's why I'm not a scientist.
Well, go back to school, bitch.
Get in the paint, big man.
Go back to school, bitch. What about Two for the Money?
Not science at all.
No. What about
the science of
what about the analytics nerd Jeremy Piven in Two for the Money?
No.
Next
thing you know, Matt Moore's a scientist. We do that.
I can trust.
What about?
Trust me, he is not.
What about Chris Pine and everyone in Don't Worry, Darling?
I thought about that. I couldn't figure out who, was he a leader? Did he create it? I couldn't remember. But yeah, I considered it.
No, he was just kind of a
He was a
artist,
podcaster.
wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he was a podcaster.
So are we scientists?
Is it because like Jordan Peterson isn't a scientist, and that's
Barely
who
a
he was
man.
based
He's
on.
barely a man.
What about the Witches in Practical Magic and the upcoming Practical Magic 2?
Wow. Please, I don't want to do Practical Magic 2. Okay.
It's coming out on 9/11.
Okay, I'm in.
I know you don't have anything else going on that day.
Well, actually, Amin and I have a lot of plans.
Did you? That's they did that joke in Hacks, the new season of Hacks.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
She's trying to get she's trying to book a show, and the only date available is 9/11.
You have to.
And she takes it.
Yeah, you have to.
Make it your own.
Oh. That's all I got.
We got anything else?
No, you guys named most of my cutting room floors.
Yeah. I'm really glad that I got back to my girl Saffron Burrows. Really glad I remembered her because that's some very important science that she was doing.
Call me Saffron.
And then
Saffron Burrows.
Then Stellan Skarsgård, they solve Alzheimer's, they cure Alzheimer's, and then he lights up a cigarette in the lab.
The pressurized undersea lab.
I love a scientist that smokes because they definitely know the implications of the lung cancer. And they say, fuck it, I need this shit.
Fuck it. Doesn't
I'm gonna
bother
do it
me
in
one
bed,
bit.
even though my wife hates it.
Next time we make love, you introduce me to Jade.